Hey, hello, and welcome to this quick overview of the Seasonal Living Framework by Lori Season. This framework rests on 5 pillars that guide and inform our choices and shape our daily routines. When you sign up for your Seasonal Living Framework workbook, you'll begin the process of exploring each of these 5 pillars. You'll begin creating your seasonal life. To create your seasonal life means to simplify and slow down the pace of your days. This will help you know where you are in nature's time with an ever increasing sense of wellness and purpose. To create a seasonal life is to step outside of the pace and demands of the dominant culture driven by things like technology and fast food, mindless entertainment, overscheduling and exhaustion, and a chronic sense of disorientation from yourself and from your surroundings. Creating a seasonal life means taking the time to become rooted in nature and caring for your whole self through time outdoors, your food choices, taking up some contemplative practices, and an authentic engagement with family, friends, and the wider world. It includes an astrological practice that helps you identify areas of your personal growth and gain a deeper understanding of your place in the universe, because you have one. Let's explore each of the 5 pillars individually. Pillar 1 is gardening and sourcing ingredients for your daily meals. Next is the kitchen practices required to regularly create and certainly enjoy seasonal meals. Pillar 3 encompasses nature based wellness practices that care for mind, body, and spirit. Pillar 4 is called Activism and describes what happens when you experience a pervasive sense of wellness, a desire to bring such healing that you've gained through your seasonal living practice to the planet and her people. Pillar 5 is the lifelong immersion in archetypal astrology as a path of self actualization. So let's talk about the garden. The first pillar of seasonal living rests in the co creative act of growing some portion of your own food in a kitchen garden or an indoor garden. It also encompasses a relationship with other local growers through farmers markets and food co ops. I know we all don't have the space and time to garden, so being interactive with where your food is coming from locally is another alternative to that. Cooking skills and the kitchen. Seasonal living is practiced several times a day by creating and enjoying seasonal meals, right? Creating tasty and nutritious foods using fresh and local ingredients requires a certain skill set that includes food preservation, so that ingredients are affordably available year round. And you'll see lots of food preservation resources on the website and in the weekly emails. The creation of seasonal meals and the enjoyment of slow food can feel like a sacred act, making the kitchen the heart of the seasonal home. Wellness practices of the seasonal lifestyle include time in nature, contemplative reading and prayer, meditation practices, and deeply exploring your own creative gifts. Self care products are made of natural ingredients, create very little trash, and are often handcrafted. They are used in the morning and evening in a routine fashion that ritualizes your days and helps you ground yourself in time and nature. In the context of the seasonal living framework, activism means engaging with the world from a heart space that is healed and acts from the pure desire to extend healing to people and practice and planet. extend healing to people and planet. This is a really important one to me because the beginning of my seasonal living journey began after I was really burnt out from 20 years of activism in Baltimore. And this practice that I'm sharing with you is how I healed. And I'll talk more about that as we get to know each other. Um, and then another huge aspect of my own healing process is archetypal astrology. And exploring the personal birth chart with an archetypal astrologer like myself offers a method of exploring your personal story from a new and wondrous perspective. It gives you an intimate relationship with the cosmos and a sense of deep abiding in the soul of the world. Archetypal astrology is an evolutionary process of self actualization. So, the birth chart is a map of the sky the moment that you were born, and an archetypal astrology reading will decode the patterning, the energetic patterning of that particular configuration that describes your character. And then as the planets continue moving, that original configuration gets activated in different ways, and we end up with these epic moments in our life, or these these patterns of behavior that just keep coming up in our biography that an astrologer can help you identify and evolve into. And we'll certainly talk a lot more about that one as well. Seasonal living looks like you. It really does. Bright and beautiful. It looks like you, unapologetic and clean in your purpose and intentions. It is simply a lifestyle that supports you being comfortable in yourself regardless of current events and trends. So nature heals. And when you practice this lifestyle, it's not just your yoga practice or your organic veggie smoothies that are healing you, but it's the time in nature as she unfolds through the seasons that helps you know how to unfold in your own seasons. And that is incredibly healing. The Seasonal Living Action Plan begins with reading the posts below and downloading the workbook. Then use the email sequence that arrives in your inbox over the next few days to find a personal connection to each of the 5 pillars. I want you to know that a sense of activism can take some time, and it may be even years. Take the time that you need to heal and circle down into the special gifts as a healer that you bring into the world. If we act too soon to engage with what is going on right now, there's a lot of unconscious motivations that can end up pulling us into situations where we can get very hurt very easily. So practice the first 3 pillars of seasonal living until you start to have this pervasive sense of healing in yourself. Then you go out and engage with the world. Don't be a broken fixer, I guess is what I'm saying. And if you're new to astrology, approach the resources on the website with a sense of curiosity, and please consider scheduling a reading with me to learn about the core components of your birth chart. Those of you who have some familiarity with the practice can schedule a reading to get a sense of what's in the stars these days, what's being emphasized, what's about to come up on your horizon, opportunity-wise, and perhaps opportunities to lean into your areas of growth. I know that astrology is not considered a science and is questioned by a lot of people. But I'm here to challenge that because it's been such an instrument of personal development and self actualization for myself, that I just want as many people to have access to it as possible so that we can all be out there doing the work that we were born to do. There's a reason that you're here, and I think that one way you can discover that reason, well, is through a contemplative practice, a yoga practice, a meditation practice, but also by knowing your astrological chart and how those cycles, those personal seasons unfold into a magnificent story of healing and becoming a healer. Um, anyway, I'm Lori, and this is my healing process, and I'm happy to share it with you. Um, I have a master's degree in eco psychology from a Buddhist university called Naropa. Some of the best years of my life. They weren't easy, but I did learn an awful lot about myself and people and the impacts that ego and trying to engage with the world from a broken ego can do on a personal level, and also watching what other people can do to each other in those environments. It was really remarkable. I live on a 5 acre farm in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. We have been agricultural producers most of our time here and are currently in transition to gardening on the property in a way that brings forward its wildness and provides a safe place for all kinds of critters and people. Um, yeah, so that's me, and I'm glad to meet you. And then Lori Season is the online platform for the seasonal living framework. It's my avatar that brings this wisdom into the world through gardening tips, kitchen tricks, healing hacks, and they all stem from nature's time, season by season. Once you've downloaded the workbook, please take some time to explore the blog, and I'll see you in our weekly emails designed to help you create your seasonal life. The way that nature calls you to act on its behalf will be deeply personal, authentic, and powerful. It's one of the most direct ways to heal into your true self and be the force of healing that the world desperately needs right now. So I'm so glad you're here. I can't wait to work with you. And I'll see you in the weekly newsletters. Bye bye.